Vicodin, OxyContin, Tramadol.
Aaron Walker lists the medications he once used for pain.
My most recent prescription of Neurontin was something like 300 pills, and I was supposed to take 4 of them 3 times a day.
He says the prescriptions worked for a while, but not always.
You've gone through all this stuff, you're in pain still, what do? Well, they continue to medicate you because you're in pain.
An athlete in college and then a mechanic in the U.S. Navy.
When you're on deployment, you got to do a lot of stuff. You're working long hours, you're lifting, dropping things, moving things.
Moving things like heavy equipment, resulting in herniated discs and sciatica.
I sat in the waiting room for 2.5 hours in excruciating pain in a wheelchair.
Aaron started seeking alternative treatment for his pain. He says he found his answer in a botanical.
I don't feel my pain at all. I feel awesome. This is great. What is this stuff? This is awesome.
It's called kratom, a plant grown in Southeast Asia and used for centuries in that region to treat fatigue, pain, and anxiety. The plant leaves are dried and powder milled and can be consumed in different ways. Aaron compares the sensation to wrapping himself in a warm blanket.
Tear the scale, and I measure it out. 3.95 on the dot. Some OJ. And then I drink it all down. When it washes over you, you feel energized, you feel relaxed, you feel the pain kind of melt away, and everything's okay.
Kratom has 2 main compounds, mitragynine and 7-hydroxymitragynine, that stimulate receptors in the brain like opiates. Some former opiate users say it can even mitigate withdrawal symptoms. But the Drug Enforcement Administration says kratom needs to be regulated. On August 31st, they filed an emergency action to make kratom a Schedule I substance, a category reserved for the most dangerous drugs. DEA Special Agent Amy Roderick says kratom is considered a danger to public health.
And that's what we found here. We decided, this was enough of a threat, and people were getting addicted, that we needed to schedule it.
Following a DEA notice, a nationwide ban takes 30 days to go into effect.
I lost myself because of medicines.
The kratom community used that time to hold rallies. They started a Save Kratom online movement and collected over 140,000 signatures, including from 51 members of Congress and 11 senators, appealing to the DEA to delay finalizing their decision.
The DEA has since withdrawn its notice of intent and opened up a public comment period which closes on December 2nd. At that point, they can either follow through with their emergency ban and ban kratom for a minimum of 2 years, or they can wait for more science on the substance.
Let's say something came back from the FDA and they said, hey, wait a minute, this cures cancer. Then we could remove it down to a lower schedule, Schedule 2, 3, 4, 5, where all the prescription drugs are.
Kratom is still legal in most states, including California. It was recently banned in the city of San Diego when it was included in an ordinance passed that also banned synthetics used to make spice and bath salts. Mitragynine and 7-hydroxymitragynine, the main alkaloids in kratom, were on the itemized list.
I believe this ordinance is going to be a model for other cities to follow and help set the standard throughout the state.
The city of Temecula drafted a similar ordinance, and its city council was ready to vote on the measure. Aaron Walker spoke at that meeting.
Mr. Walker, good evening, sir.
I took some this evening. I am not hallucinating. I'm not running around. I'm not aggressive or crazy. This is something that I take because I have a back issue.
I don't know anything about kratom, to be quite honest with you, and because I don't know about it, I'm hesitant to vote to ban it.
The kratom ban was voted down, a small victory for kratom consumers. But the DEA says self-medicating with an unregulated substance is not the solution to pain.
This is an addictive substance, just like any other drug. And when you start putting these things into your body, you're going to become addicted. I know that people say, oh, it helps opioid addiction, but it in itself is an opioid.
I think that anything that can cause dependence is potentially harmful.
Dr. Richard Clark is head of toxicology at UCSD Medical Center.
To me, that's probably the most dangerous aspect of this, that if we made it more available, that people would use it like an opiate, overuse it like an opiate, become dependent on it like they do with an opiate, and then have to go through withdrawal or not be able to stop it.
Some people report withdrawal from kratom use is as easy as getting off caffeine. Others say withdrawal can bring panic attacks and excessive sweating. One former user blogged that it was as addictive as Vicodin and Adderall and called it the king of misery.
I don't think people know how this drug really works. I think that from a pure science perspective, from a pure potential perspective, this drug has potential. And I think that if there's something about this compound that gives you pain relief without the respiratory depressant effects that we see with the other opiates, that would be a breakthrough. But there's clearly not enough science to know that yet.
But the science is catching up. Drug companies are aggressively researching new non-addictive pain medications that don't make you stop breathing, which is the leading cause of death in opiate abuse. One promising compound is metragenine from Kratom. Kratom advocates support the study because they say it will save lives, but find the timing curious.
Well, oh my gosh, here comes a new patented drug, Schedule II, right on the market, and we will prescribe it to you, and it'll help with your opiate withdrawals that we caused in the first place.
Finding that drug, which will be a Nobel Prize winning drug, that helps you with opiate receptors and doesn't have either tolerance, dependence, or withdrawal, and doesn't make you stop breathing, that somebody is going to make a lot of money off one day.
Could it be Kratom?
It's possible. It's possible.
After experiencing the pain-relieving benefits of Kratom, Aaron Walker joined the United Kratom Association as an advocate and now sells the product for an online distributor. If Kratom does become illegal in the U.S., some Kratom consumers worry they will relapse on their drug of choice, or, like Aaron, continue to find a way to use it.
If Kratom is banned, I will continue using it, absolutely.
You won't go back to prescription medication?
No, nope, won't do it.
Maya Trabulsi, KPBS News.